you versus the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And I have to mention this because we were honored enough to have his last ever interview. It was just a couple days before he had passed. And one of the last guys that he talked about was, of course, Terry Funk. And he told a great story about how you used to call him Fatso and hide and yell out Fatso. And then when he would catch you, you would say, I meant, isn't that so? That's so. So some awesome stuff, some awesome history between you guys. What was the feud like with you and Dusty?
It was pretty insane, especially in Florida. You know, and it was probably the greatest feud in wrestling at that time. All you had to do is put us in the ring, not even put us in the ring, put us in the same arena. That's the same thing with Lawler, you know. Put us in the same arena. We don't have to be in the ring together, and we'll find each other. But the people know that we're going to find each other before the night's over.
Now, he mentioned that Fatso story. Is that true? Would you go around talking about Dusty, calling him Fatso?
If Dusty was close enough to hear it, I'd go ahead and say, is that so? Is that so? He was too dumb to pick up on it.
What was it about you guys, you and Dusty, that, you know, you could never get along? You guys were always feuding, always having wild, iconic, crazy brawls. What was it like between you two and the chemistry? You guys never seemed to quite get along.
Well, you know, it was a continuous feud. Not even it went back further than myself in wrestling. It went back to West Texas University, you know, and it actually went back to whenever Dusty was playing behind me. He was playing like second team guard, and he could never start for West Texas because I was always ahead of him. I was always so much better than Dusty. Dusty just couldn't stand it. I was an amazing individual. Dusty, he just couldn't quite get there.
And you guys, it's funny. It's just one of those things. It's just that you guys just don't mix well together. You don't play well together. And Tony was telling us.
That's kind of like Lawler, you know.
Yeah.
Feuds, you know, is feuds that's been going on for years, and in the world of wrestling is Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler. You know, Terry Funk and Dusty Rhodes. Those were two of the great feuds of the past. And not the past with Lawler is I can't wait to get my hands on him.
And we can't wait to see that.
That's the God's honest truth. That's the God's honest truth.
And we can't wait to see that. That is great. And Tony was telling us the last time that you wrestled Dusty, he actually ended up setting the ring on fire. So even though Dusty won the match, he really kind of lost.
Well, that was the last of the ring caught on fire, and it was quite a chaotic match. I have never been anything but in a chaotic match with Dusty Rhodes. He was, you know, as I can't, you know, him and Lawler both are overbearing. You know, and he and Lawler both. I don't think I've ever called anybody else but those two this egg-sucking dogs. That's what both of them are, you know. Jerry Lawler is, you know, he's also a pig. He wants all of the money. He wants everything. You know, that's Jerry Lawler's way. It's not my way. I'm a wonderful person. I'm a great guy. Jerry Lawler's not. Dusty Rhodes, he was okay. You know, he couldn't quite make the football player. He played behind me the entire time at West Texas. That's why he couldn't stand me, Dusty Rhodes. I was just a little bit better than he was. And I'd like to find that idiot kid of his. What's his name?
Cody?
What's the goofball's name? Cody. I'd like to beat the hell out of Cody sometime.
This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com, and on the line here today I have WWE Hall of Famer, former NWA World Champion, former ECW World Champion, the legendary Terry Funk, who is also a Hollywood star. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm doing great. I don't know how much of a star I am, but I was out there for a long enough time to become one.
Over the Top and Roadhouse were pretty good, in my opinion.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that.
There's a reason I'm calling you today, and that was because I have a challenge in place against Cody Rhodes. He works for All Elite Wrestling. He says he has an open challenge to any independent wrestler that wants to come in and fight him. He's fought a lot of bums. He's fought a lot of nobodies. He hasn't fought any legitimate challengers yet. I think he should fight Hannibal. Kevin Sullivan thinks he should fight Hannibal. Billy Graham, the Mountie. I mean, you know both of us. You're very familiar with Cody's dad. I think you beat him up hundreds of times.
I beat him up so many times. Dusty Rhodes. What an obnoxious person he was. And his kid is just like him.
I agree with you on that.
Absolutely. And you're a classy individual, especially a classy individual whenever it's compared to the Rhodes, Dusty and Cody. How can they possibly even consider themselves at the same level that you are? And I know I'm not talking about Dusty, but I know I'm talking about Cody. And I'm directing this whole conversation at Cody. Cody, you need to get in a ring with this guy. You need to get your ass beat.
I fully agree with you on that, but here is the question. Do you think he will actually be a man and do it, or do you think he's going to continue ducking and dodging and avoiding fighting real competitors like myself because he knows what would happen if we were to go on live TV and he would give me a match? Anything could happen on live TV.
He's like his old man. He's a ducker. He's a dodger. You're going to have to put him in a corner. You're going to have to corner him before you can possibly even think about getting a match with him. You are dealing with a whole different group of individuals, type of people, when you're dealing with the Rhodes family and when you're dealing with other people in the wrestling business. They're always behind the corner. They're always hiding behind the corner. Remember what I'm saying. I know that if you challenge them and do this, I hope you get the opportunity. But I just can't see him ever saying, yes, I will go in the ring with him. I cannot see that.
Well, that may be true, but if he were to agree to it somehow, if he had enough pressure on him and somehow he's not like the rest of his family and he actually cares about pride and has some pride in himself and he accepts the challenge, and let's say you had to bet the Double Cross Ranch on either Cody or Hannibal, who do you think would win the match if that match were to happen?
If I bet the Double Cross Ranch, because I'll tell you, I wouldn't bet the Double Cross Ranch, even if there was a slim chance. But I don't think there is a slim chance of you losing that match. I really don't. I think that the quality of the individuals is very evident. It's very evident to the people within the business. It's very evident to the real professional wrestling fans. I know that for a fact. I'm not going to tell you good luck. I'm not going to wish you good luck. I don't want you to have good luck because you don't need it. You don't need it, Hannibal. You don't need it. You are going to be the winner.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos,